Okay, so today I'm just gonna welcome you guys to the class. This one is for DevOps job market and interview process. It's probably gonna be one of the very different sessions. It's gonna be more down to earth. We're gonna talk about different students' experiences, my personal experience, and what to expect when you go to the job market, what companies you're going to work for, and what does DevOps do in day-to-day, starting from the interview. Okay, so we already talked about internet, IT fields, about hardware, software. So right now, I just want to tell you guys that you guys are very lucky. You have this class because you have big idea what to expect, since you're learning about the tools, what DevOps does do. And now it's probably one of the most important topic because you're wondering about the salary, the position, the companies, and where you're going to be working for. I just want to introduce myself. My name is Yulia. I've been here instructor at TenTek for about almost 2 years. And I had a very good experience of working with students when they go to the job market and how they are landing to work for really good companies and what kind of companies there and what to expect. Okay, so currently I'm working as a DevOps engineer at the company. My level is mid-level, so DevOps engineer 2. And I'm a team of 5 people. And during the free time, I like to teach other students and whoever needs some guidance to find a job in DevOps field, specifically how to conduct the interviews and how get hired. I love teaching and helping people to find the best potential. I like to inspire, motivate, and share my knowledge. I know you guys signed up for this class, and next one is starting in February, and it's going to be good foundation for you to prepare yourself to be successful. So let's see. Do you guys can see my full screen, or you can see the Zoom people here?
No, just screen.
Just screen. Okay, that's. I mean the whole screen, so nothing bothering you, right? You can read the full screen. Okay, so I want to start talking about myself at the beginning, how everything is started, because I was looking for, just like you, a new career, and I want to change something. I came to that point. I've been here in the United States for about a while, and I tried many different fields. First, at the beginning, I was in hospitality sector. It was a lot of pros and cons. Of course, the biggest concerns were the low pay rate. So I consider it a blue-collar job. It's physically very difficult. And as I said, it's a low wage. It's not a lot of medical insurance and benefits. So I've been there, I did that, and start moving to retail because I thought it's going to be a more cleaner job, more interesting. You get to meet a lot of different people. It's still a corporate job, so it gives me a really good foundation what to expect working for corporate. Because when you want to go move to DevOps, you're gonna work for big corporations, startups. It's still considered organization, right? You're going to be part of the big team. When I worked in retail, though, It was a big difference, of course, comparing right now when we do IT. We work at night, weekend shift, because it's more of the sales, late hours, and you have to be obligated to work on holidays. The salary was very floating from lower wage during the winter time. During the summertime, it would go up. So it was very different, and I needed some stability in that. And when I talk about this, probably a lot of you can feel the same about themselves. Maybe your situation might be the same. So I'm coming here to explain, we all been here in the same situation. We probably have totally different background. And this one is one of my journeys starting on retail. And then we move to self-employment, having own company. It requires investment, of course. Probably right now, some of you already have companies. The constant here is no fixed income. There's no retirement plan. You cannot save for yourself. Definitely, it's hard to get medical insurance for your family, for yourself. Very uncertain. You have to work even more than you expected to. And even though you have your own hours, it still end up being 24/7 thing, right? When I'm talking about this journey, is any of you can relate? Have you been in this sectors, retail, self-employed, hospitality sectors, doing blue collar job? Do you feel yourself being in this position right now? Most of the students, when they come to these courses, they have that kind of background. And when they're standing to this point, you are questioning yourself what you're going to do. You want some certainty, you want some insurance, you want to have maybe professional growth. So here it comes different things, because we all heard the IT sector is booming, it's high paid departments in every single industry. And when I was personally trying to find out my path, I came through those 4 different paths. The one that I think that everyone usually takes. There's no other way you can get to IT without taking one of those courses. So the first one, I'm currently located in Las Vegas, Nevada. So we do have a university here, the very common one called UNLV. So I decided everybody wants to go to university, right? So of course, maybe there's degrees you can take, like computer science or information technology. Those 2 are most common ones. But this one had really big concerns for having a family, for being an immigrant. It takes longer time. So usually for bachelor's is 4 years, for master's is 6 years. It's definitely high cost and very time consuming. So it's hard to make it when you have something else going on in your life. And probably a lot of you can, relate to that. And I know that this is not going to be the case. And I went down to see the second part, which is, you can see on the bottom, university courses. University courses, you probably heard DevOps is becoming very, very common in university courses. I have cases where my friends graduated Berkeley University, California, San Diego universities. Our UNLV has those courses. Majority of those courses before, it's used to be courses in cybersecurity, full stack, some kind of coding courses. And I think some of them might have even QA. And right now, the DevOps is becoming more popular and they have those courses. And maybe some of you consider that too. I our university to see what's out there. Maybe it's good courses, and we started some trial. So I have a big idea how they look like, and I can right now in front of you to show big cons and pros usually when it comes to our situation. First of all, of course, it's very high cost. Approximately they start from 18,000 and up. Very limited study hours. So when I say limited study hours, it can be only maybe 2 hours, maybe 4 hours per week. It's very expanded up to 10 months. And the knowledge was okay. The courses syllabus was okay, but they have less of mentorship. They didn't have hands-ons. And the biggest cons in university courses for me was no job placement or interview support. They would do very vague, little, maybe no introduction how to find a job. So that's why a lot of people are left by themselves once they graduate those expensive university courses. I have my personal experience with my friend who graduated University of California, some courses, and she wasn't able to find a job because she did not have any knowledge how to do so. What kind of interview process, how it's conducted, zero hands-on experience, and LinkedIn, even the basic knowledge of LinkedIn, she didn't have. So that's why I'm putting a lot of concerns in those. There's some bootcamps now, it's very, very popular, like General Assembly and go on, but they are very, very expensive. And curriculum is very simple without any real life projects. So then we can move on. You probably heard a lot about online courses, right? When anyone can do online courses now. You just open the YouTube or get the Coursera or do the Code Cloud or anything like that. Those are $100 courses you can take, and some people would say, you can do that. Why would you go to bootcamp? But this one has a biggest concern. There's probably no one who just took the courses and found a job by himself. First of all, we are people who doesn't have a lot of discipline to do so. We don't have clear roadmap what to study because there's so many information going on there. Even in my personal experience, when I Googled what does DevOps do and what I should learn as a DevOps, it was so much information and I couldn't understand what does that mean and where should I start. Definitely, especially when you're doing DevOps or any IT, but mostly DevOps, you really need the guidance and mentorship. So that's why I went over the bootcamp. I graduated by myself, bootcamp, and I think it's really good. It fits us, especially me being an immigrant. It's shorter time frame, it has full-time mentorship and support. This thing as a full-time mentorship was a big thing for me because as a person who didn't have any technical background, I would struggle and maybe I can stuck on something, and our mentors would just come to me and just guide me and fix any errors that I might have. With online courses and even that, I don't know, university course, you cannot do that because you don't have that people who have real life experience. At bootcamp, mentors have real life experience as they're working as a valuable employees in some big companies. They have good experience. They can troubleshoot your problem right away. So this is the biggest thing I think I paid, and you guys, anyone that we are paying for, is invaluable. It's really good with the live projects. And the second biggest pro for me was that you have real life projects. When we talk about real life project, it means it was handpicked for you to get the most experience, where you can shuffle different tools together and work and troubleshoot with a short period of time, understanding the whole concept as a whole. So I was impressed. I remember doing my homeworks and my projects, how it can implement every different aspects of your learning. So when if you want to go study by yourself, I would definitely cannot do that, because I don't know where to go. I don't know how to start. I don't know how to do that. And there are so many options out there. It's million options out there. And with computers, if you make one mistake, if you make one tiny, I don't know, the error, if you forgot to put maybe dot or something, you're just going to be really, really having problem executing your code. So this is my biggest plus going to bootcamp, and only necessary information is make together for like 6 months course, and you can graduate it and have really good knowledge of what's going on in real life when you start your job. Do you guys have any questions about this subject? Maybe you want to share something that you are, maybe how you came here, and probably maybe there's a lot of people you already have who graduated different boot camps or have university degrees, about those experiences.
Hi, my name is Dinara. So I had one question about the university courses thing, but
Yes.
it's and university's degrees. So basically, maybe because I'm an immigrant too, so I got my bachelor and master's in Russia. So maybe that's how I'm thinking, but I'm not sure how it works here. So let's say even if you're getting a job and you're being like a junior in a junior position, right? And later you're going and changing your position and getting a higher position. So that usually needs you to have the MBA or master degree, bachelor or something. Does it work the same way here, or is it okay still having like a bootcamp education?
It's really good that you have education here, so you can always translate it and graduate it in a shorter period of time. You can get some half of the credits and just study 2 years and get your master's here in the United States. And definitely it will help you to move, especially in the higher positions in IT. If you're becoming a manager or even moving to CTO, said they definitely require a degree. But in some cases, it might not be specifically in IT, any technical degrees, plus if you move to management position.
So basically, you don't have to have a bachelor.
This
or it would be really, I'm sorry?
This one doesn't require for IT entry-level jobs. They are not required to have degree, as long as you have some knowledge, experience, some projects you can show, and show yourself that you are willing to learn. That's why they hire you. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Good. Okay. Is there any other questions? So here about university degrees and any education, if you have back from your country, it's a plus always. You can always translate them, and it will be very helpful, especially if it's in technical field. It's really nice to have them. And people who have university degrees here definitely tend to be very high intelligence. I can see the level of the management positions they can enter. You have big opportunities. But if you don't have it, it's still, that's why IT is very popular now for among entry level, is because it's not required. So you have a good chance to find a job as long as you have knowledge.
So let's say if I'm having a master degree in the management field, but it's it's the oil and gas industry, but not in IT, but still it could be useful for the IT field, right?
yes, I do have a personal situation when my degree is not technical, but I still showed, and it helped me to land a job as well. So
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. So the next topic, if you have any questions additional, we can ask it at the end. I will answer those. So let me go forward this one. See. So sharing this. Computers. So let's see. So journey of deciding to take a new career path, it's definitely, you do a lot of research, conducting where you want to go, making every institution accountable. For me, that's how I came to TenTek, and I graduated successfully. I've been already working for a few years in this field, and I would like to share my knowledge, how it is on the market, and how in general the interview is conducted. So I don't know, my thing is stuck in here. I think my computer is rebooting. Okay, I'll do it like this. Wait. So right now, DevOps job market is still hot. I know there's a lot of people probably questioning how it works when you are, we have recession, the market is really questionable. Should I go to the IT? Those questions come in, but being insider right now in IT, I can tell the market is still hot. They have very high demand in DevOps job because we do very vital job in organization, and they need people with those skills who can take care of the application. On the previous classes, you probably already had high-end idea, what do we do? In simple language, to understand it, we do a lot of support. So we help developers, day-to-day tasks. Probably, I'm not going to go deeper what happens, but in majority of the cases, it's giving the permission, fixing the system, improving the system, helping developers to do all the process smoothly when a software development lifecycle comes. So with that being said, I dig in some statistics, how I supposed to be always looking, if it's high, if it's low. I always tend to go to the LinkedIn or market statistics, what's going on there right now with the market. It's $1 billion industry. It's definitely not going anywhere. It's growing. And right now we are in the middle of it. In the middle of this growth, the market expected to grow at a very high rate. Here, I put some numbers for you guys. And I think we have to be very confident that it will not disappear and our future going to be uncertain right now. The companies like to spend a lot of money when it comes to IT in general. So the DevOps is a part of the IT. So the IT is not going anywhere. It's still growing. A lot of companies even implementing. That's why statistics are very high. When we think about why it's important is now probably every single business is an IT business. Anything that we do right now, it has IT department. So that's why it's just demand is so high, and people who are already implementing IT, they need improvement in whatever they're doing. So our job is really important. I've been working with few organizations already, and I can tell how our position is different. What we do is more of the manager level, whenever we conduct the meetings, we would go with high executives. We make really life important decisions. Then when it comes to management, and that's how we treat it, mostly like a managers. And that's why I really like it, because you gain so much perspective of the company, what's going on and where we are moving and where we want to save money, where we want to maybe invest when it comes to as a company as a whole. So all this decision in the general of the whole IT department, DevOps plays vital role, if you understand what I mean. Do you guys have any questions when I say about this role and how the all things conducted? Okay, I guess all of the understanding will come when you will start working. You will be invited in a lot of major meetings, not just like company-wide, but the one that was executives. And you will see in general how this things works and how you can play a role to make a big impact in that. So let me go with what's my next. My thing is not working here. So I'll keep those. So when it comes to the salary, it's probably one of the biggest, inspiration why I want to do it, because it all comes to the salary at the end of the day. And I put some little statistics here, and this one is just average in every single state. The salary varies from the company to company, and it depends on the state as well. Of course, California, Silicon Valley have really high salary because of the state in general, location in general, and there's so many startups as well, or big companies. So, but in general, when you land up average, when we do a lot of statistics, average DevOps engineer entry level salary would go 120,000 per year. This is entry level average. It can go up to 145, even if you entry level. It can go lower to 100,000. So it all depends on the company. They have very different budgets. They have very different levels, how they want to grade those employees. So some people have DevOps engineers and senior DevOps engineers. Some people have the whole department, just DevOps engineers or site reliability engineers, or they grade it how they want. The bigger companies tend to grade the employees with more understandable, and they kind of make it more like they divide those teams in the smaller teams, so they're responsible in smaller parts of the applications. Of course, in other case, if you're working for a startup and there's only 50 people or 30 people, definitely the team of DevOps is going to be much smaller. It can be only 2 people, maybe a few contractors. So it's all depends with the salary. But average, most of the people, to say 70% of the DevOps engineers usually make 125, 130. That's average salary right now when it comes to big states like California or New York. So do you guys have any questions about salary and the position itself? Do you guys hear what you expected to hear, or something is surprising for you?
Hi, Yulia.
Yes.
My question is for the DevOps jobs. Is it more remote or on-site? placements?
Yes, good question. Right now, every single even month, we are seeing the statistics that a lot of people want, I mean, what are companies and executives, they want the employees to work from office or hybrid. So that's why it can be a little bit hard if you're looking for remote jobs, a lot of remote jobs. But if you live in the bigger cities, of course, it's more jobs on site. And I think it's great for some, especially right now, I've been working from home for a while. So, and sometimes I'm thinking maybe hybrid is a good option as well. So remote is great. You have a lot of freedom, but still hybrid might be good. You can engage with your coworkers. You get to see people, you get to, to see your organization, to go to the office, maybe use some perks that offices are offering for you. So it might be different. So if you have an opportunity, if you live in the bigger cities, like San Diego, Chicago, or Miami, or Seattle, it's definitely worth finding as well on-site, hybrid, which can be 2 days in the office, 3 days at home, or remote as well. So I think it's great opportunity. But now we have a lot of companies did some research, employees are very productive when they work in the office. That's why they're trying to bring people in the office, and you'll see more of the hybrid positions available in any IT departments. When I went, I remember my experience. I remember LinkedIn 2 years ago, we had remote jobs, a lot of remote jobs. Now it's becoming a little bit less, but still we want to work in any company as long as the company is great. And I don't think it does matter if you do commuting or if you work from home. You can always switch it. You can always switch it, and the company might change the policies. You guys have any feedback on that? Do you want to work remote mostly, or you open for on-site?
Yeah, remote jobs would be great. And Yulia, I've got a question. Based on your graphic, it says network engineer. It's most paid position?
Yes. Right now, when it just did recently, a few days ago, was when I pulled up LinkedIn. So it's my just personal search, how many jobs I found on LinkedIn. So when I did network engineer, it might be some spikes of necessity of system administrators, network engineers. Maybe it leads to, this is still considered as a DevOps job. So whatever you're going to have a training in a bootcamp in general as a DevOps, you can work in any of those positions. So it's very various from company to company. Right now, networking, especially when it comes to Kubernetes, it become a big issue to set it up. So that's why they can call it as a network engineer and specifically have a person who's responsible to the tool that may be specializing more in network. But we have a good curriculum teaching network. We have good mentors who teach about system itself, and cloud in general, and you'll have a knowledge to work in any of those positions.
Good.
Yes. So as I said, companies, they call it differently, and it can be even if they require certain person, certain position, and when you start working, you'll notice you're going to do totally a little bit different things. So it's just a lot of words they put in when they try to find the right candidate. So let me move to the next slide. So I'm trying to do my intro button. It's just my computer freezes. So here My next thing I want to talk about is what kind of companies you're going to work for, especially when you are DevOps engineer. As I said, every single business right now is IT. Of course, you can work in any company as you wish. So I see there's some questions. Okay, I'll ask them if they, I think I could read them, so I'll answer them later. So different industries are there. Definitely the biggest sector of the industry is finance and banking. Then there's educational field, where I have a lot of friends who work in educational field. Then it goes to human resources or any corporate softwares, entertainment, retail is a big thing right now, online retail, and healthcare. The second, or maybe one of the biggest industries, healthcare, and definitely the beast is software industry itself. If you think about the Google, Microsoft, Oracle, and things of that product matter. And when we go to find a job, especially when you see a lot of people on LinkedIn, when you do a search of DevOps jobs, most of the time, of course, it's a healthcare and software industry and finance and banking. So this is the three, probably the major industries where you probably gonna land a job when you're gonna finish the bootcamp. And it's good to understand what you're gonna work with. At the end of the day, of course, the backend or anything, it's very similar, but you have to understand the nature of the application, nature of the software, and what language it's written, and what how does the development works, and what kind of tech stacks are there. So once you understand all of this, it's very easy to go to the interview and find a job and land and understand what you're expecting from the company, not just what the company expecting from you. So if you're doing your own research, this is mostly where you're going to end up after the graduation. This is the major industries, but I still have a lot of people who are in educational sector as well, nonprofit. Maybe in the future, when they want to excel their career, think about the future, they can go even to government companies. But this is the major of the industries. Do you guys have any questions about this one? Do you understand how this one works, or how the companies usually looking for people for their software? Like, what are you going to do in general, if it's like finance or healthcare? Because I'm asking you because when I started the beginning of my career, I was thinking, what kind of application do they have? So, and then you break it down. So if it's a customer facing application, or if it's a website, if it's mobile application, if they're mobile application, they have to support Apple, Android, iOS, I meant, and if it's healthcare, it can be a website, it can be some software that they are tracking, maybe some devices. When it comes to education, it's as well educational websites and applications and things of that matter. So all of this needs to be supported by IT. And if they have IT, they need DevOps. That's how it's all tackled together. Okay, so there's no questions on this topic, right? So moving, you are probably thinking how to successfully graduate the bootcamp. As of right now, you probably already make up your mind. You already, most of you registered to the NA course, and there's some advices and successful statistics, what needs to be done in order to be successful. And I put things that are the most important to complete this course. The first is, of course, knowledge of the core foundation, and the previous classes were really knowledgeable, especially when it comes to the software development, when it comes to the system administration, network, and different departments of IT and how they all work together, different languages, how the code is written, and what needs to be done in order to that code to be successful and work in organization. So that's why, of course, knowledge of core foundation is very important. We have really good curriculum on that, but successful program graduation. I just put in my own words here because I wanted to explain that you have to commit yourself to finish the program, to finish what you start, finish your homework, attend every single class, all of these things, because you are so into it, it will give you success. And studying with your peers, studying together with your peers, even if you're on the office or from home, it's really good to touch base with your peers and work together. It makes tremendous impact because maybe you cannot solve the problem and your peers already know it. You can help each other. The very successful students who already graduated our schools, and I see most of them, what they have done is a lot of studying with their peers. Of course, they did have a good knowledge of core foundation, and they have successful graduation. They attended every single class, but they still studied with their peers. And the fourth step is seeking the mentorship. So do not be afraid to reach out to your mentors, to reach out whoever can help you, instructors, ask questions. Do not be afraid of being maybe unknowledgeable and do not understand. Everybody can have a hard time, so it's okay. We all been there. So I think people who seek mentorship, ask questions, be on top of what's going on, they graduate successfully as well. And main thing that I do here, I teach about soft skills and communication. I always saying how important it is to have a soft skills and communication, not just to find a job, but successful graduation of this course. It helps you to be successful at your work. And definitely the majority of the things is to find a job. It helps you to land a job because that's how you show yourself. That's how the people choose you. They hear your voice, they hear your intonation, they hear your knowledge, how you're expressing yourself, and that's how you land a job. And whenever you have free time, improve your soft skills, communication skills, improve your English if you don't have it, if you think it's not intermediate. It's really important. It's the same, it has the same level of importance as the knowledge of the core foundation. If you're really smart, if you're technically understanding everything, if you cannot express this on the interview, if you cannot express this at work, people would think you don't, you're not on the same page. So that's why I put this steps how to be successful and what helps to land a job. Do you guys have any questions about that? Is that what you were planning when you want to study right now, or is it something new you discovered? Has anyone here thought that only knowledge of the foundation, knowledge of the math, coding, and technical mindset will help you to be successful here?
Hi, my name is Jibia. I wanted to ask, actually, it's my second time visit TenTek. For the first time, I had luck to find the job, so I decided to go for the second time.
Okay.
And the question is there right now like a talking clubs where we can improve our English and the soft skills, or maybe, I don't know, some kind of classes outside of the regular education?
Yes, good question. We have actually TenTek, it's different because we put community forward. We have really good channel and Telegram where we usually share our knowledge. Our even Instagram is really active. You always can, you know, listen, reach out there. Are you located in Chicago or somewhere else?
Yeah, I'm located in a suburb of Chicago.
Oh yeah, that's the good way is to come to the office to communicate with your peers and try to practice in English. You might be thinking I'm really good in English and only, but exposure might be different.
Oh, hello, Julia. This is Olga. And
Yeah.
I just wanted to ask you, is it very stressful position, I mean, DevOps for you, just based on your experience?
Position itself, anything will be stressful because the change. Any change, even if it's a good change, right? If you're buying a new house or if you're moving to the really nice country, it's going to be a big change. That's why it's stressful. Of course, in IT, it's a big responsible job. It might take a little longer to adjust, but it's all about your mindset. Your mindset is, I have to say, there's no the same job you're going to do. Every single IT job is different. And even the person who has computer science degree, 5, 6, 10 years experience in, you know, certain IT department, they would come to this company, they will have the same stress, almost. Of course, they might tackle some problems a little bit faster, but they still need to learn. Ours is a little bit longer, but still it's going to be stress, of course. But when you change your mindset and do not put like, even if they fire you, even if you cannot make it, even if the company is not going to work out for you, it's okay. It's not the end of the day. It's not the health issues. It's not the anything. Because once you start working in this, if you're not going to quit at least 2 years, you're going to be unstoppable and you'll find the right company for you. You're going to be happy. So it's stressful. I think running own business, even doing something else is more stressful because this job is very, very interesting if you put your mind 100% into it and if you repeat. If you take your time to learn about what you're doing at work, if you be friends with your coworkers, if you read documentations and things like that, you'll be successful because there are some people, of course, who couldn't do. There are some people who were very stressed, but it's about their mindset. They didn't put maybe their time and the discipline, because I don't think if someone will repeat to you 5 times, you wouldn't understand something. So it's doable.
Okay, thank you. And do you think it depends on team as well? I
It
mean,
depends on
team
team.
that, yeah.
Yes.
And any advices how to choose the team of your dream during the interview?
Yes, show your personality, talk, body language, talk about yourself, being genuine at work, asking some questions about themselves. Of course, not bothering them on small things, like if you can Google something, why to ask them? So because in IT, we're all so busy and our job is very concentrated. We don't want to be bothered by something else. We still have a lot of meetings going on. So that's why I think it's really important to, do your research by yourself, but still ask if it's necessary. So knowing that balance where you can be involved and leave them alone, I guess this is my thing. So let me see what does it says. Let me check the questions and answers. I work remote full-time as QA engineer, but want to learn DevOps. How do you think it's possible? How many extra time I need for everyday tasks and homework? Actually, that's a good question. If you already QA full-time, I don't know how long you have experience with the QA, but that means you already know the world of the corporate, of IT, how Scrum meetings conducted, how the project works. The coding, I'm assuming very well, Java. So as a DevOps, you definitely need to learn extra tools, but it will be twice faster as comparing with a person who gonna come here with a zero background. But if you work full time, it depends how many hours you put for your work. And I think I know that a lot of companies already have some learning platforms, LinkedIn, Udemy, YouTube. I think you have access to that. And if you're still working on the meeting, you still can open it and watch something. And at the evening, you have classes. Classes usually 2-3 hours. And if you do your homework, another 3 hours. So I would say 4 or 5 hours per day. And you can put some extra work on weekends. So it's pretty doable if you're good at your job, if you're good at your QA job too. So, but make sure you don't miss anything, and reach out to mentors. If you're in Chicago, you definitely need to come to the office. You need that human experience. So whoever's in Chicago, I would highly suggest to come. I don't know, like even right now, I conducting it as a webinar, but it's really good to see people, to see their faces, to have that real connection, and you can even troubleshoot, do your homework much better in the office, in the actual school. So I would highly suggest to come, because I graduated online. I was far away, and if I could come, I would come every day. I would even live there all day long. So don't be lazy, just put some work and you'll be successful.
So basically, let's say we're gonna end hopefully in 6 months, that'll be like a summer period, right? Is it like a good season during the summer, or usually it's better season of having it in a winter time, or when they having more applications?
Definitely during the Christmas time. It's all the companies, most of the companies are really on vacations. They are taking all of their last PTOs. They might not be calling, maybe last 2 weeks or maybe month of December, but we had a pretty high success rate in December. Even I found 2 jobs in December. So this is not, it all depends on the company. They might be super hungry for new employee. Maybe someone quit. Maybe they need to implement something really quick. So the IT is very evolving. IT is very different, right? So the change can happen like even one day, something can break totally and they need to fix it, or some subscription expired, or some software is not working. So they need to think about something really quick. So it changes tremendously from company to company, from product to product, and you never know who's going to hire you. And the job is out there all the time. So they're hiring different companies all the time. Of course, it's a little bit less in the Christmas time because a lot of people on PTOs, but they still hiring. Sometimes they try to jump in early so they can get fresh candidates like New Year's in January and things like that.
Okay, and maybe I misunderstood that information, but previously we were talking about like how to understand if you got let's say you got a few offers, right? And you're thinking which company you should choose, and how in that position to understand. And okay, the money, it's understandable. We're gonna measure that both with the money, right? With the salary. But in case of we're thinking we still want to be in a good company, we still want to have a good manager, we want to be in a good team, how to understand in the beginning if it's the good or not that good company, how to read them better?
I do have my personal, so before when I went to the market, I was choosing big companies. I want to work for companies that has probably like 1,000 employees. I want to work in a big team. It helps a lot. I got hired into companies that has 1,000 employees. I was in team of like 15 DevOps engineers, and definitely that's what I wanted. And when I had to choose between those two, I chose the company that has the latest tools, very modern tools, the tools that we learned at our bootcamp, because in our bootcamp, we learned the latest tools, and I want to implement that, and it's going to help my career, right? If I know the latest tools, if I'm going to quit this job, I'm going to find another one, it's going to be good for my resume. That's what I thought, but I end up being laid off because the company was changing. It's a startup. They becoming a public. They need to make huge changes. They cut a lot of employees, like 400. So you never know what to expect. And I think really narrowing your choices, it can be really, not right. You have to go with your gut. It's all about people. If the person who is hiring you, the manager you feel like it's a good person and that person really liked you, you like the team, that's what I would go for. I wouldn't even look at the nature of application, because that's what I was looking for, because when the application is very high traffic, you have to be maybe on call, you have to troubleshoot a lot. But now, while had experience, with working with different companies, now it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what kind of product. It doesn't matter how big is the company, how big is your team. Nothing matters. It's all about who you're going to work with. Because if you're going to mess up at the end of the day, they have to be able to close their eyes and just help you, support you. And it will help you for your long run, because we need to work at least 2-3 years, to establish our good career start. So that's why I always say, feel the people. If they really like you and if you really like them, choose that company, not the salary, not the product, not the company in itself. And you will make a right choice if you go with people first, with your coworkers.
So basically, like in the beginning, we're having, let's say, first call from the HR, and later, like we're having, how I understand it, having few levels of the interview, and like you're talking to the manager and your team, and you're still seeing these people to get a better understanding, right?
Yes, because you're going to work with the same people who interviewed you. You're going to work, first interview is usually general manager, DevOps manager. That's person who you're going to report to. So in how you impressed it, how you had that connection, how you liked him or he liked you, it's all depends your future of your career. And then you'll have a team interview, which is everyone on the team is gonna be interviewing you. So that's why you understand how do you like the team. Of course, don't be scared if they're super smart or things like that. It doesn't matter. It's all about how willing they are to support you, how kind they are, how maybe easygoing they are, maybe the interview a little bit easier. So that's how you know that the company is going to be good for you.
Okay. And also previously you were saying that you're still, like, even with having a job, you're still searching and checking the LinkedIn and other sources, right?
Yes.
And just in case, what's your personal opinion about what is going on with the market right now and what's gonna happen, let's say, to our batch when we're gonna finish?
With DevOps, it's very, very important to the company. So they need a lot of people. The companies are expanding. They need more DevOps people. People are, like moving from one company to another. So the market is going to stay same, even better. Summer, I know 2024 will be better, and it's all depends how you're gonna, be on your interviews, how are you going to show yourself on the interviews. And of course, the school does matter, the curriculum. At the end of the day, curriculum tend to be very similar in any school, but it's all about mentorship, how you're going to do your homework, and all of this will help you. You'll be in great position, and DevOps is it's going to have even more and more. If you look at the statistic, the job is going to grow higher and higher, because the companies that maybe never implemented IT, the companies that maybe hired third-party company to take care of the small website or things like that, now because the technology and the phone usage and everything is growing, they need to expand. A lot of companies are creating new teams. So this is will bring up, because we're using so much technology right now, it will bring up more and more jobs. There's no way that's going to become less. There's no way that our job will be automated. When you start working, you will understand how hard it is to fix a lot of things and make it like, with artificial intelligence or things like that. It is very, very, very hard. So it's nowhere close going to be, depreciated or, disappearing, if you're asking of that matter.
Okay, thank you so much.
Welcome. Do you guys have any other questions?
I was wondering how long the bootcamp lasts. As far as I know, it's 6 months, but is it included or excluded the 3 months bootcamp? I mean, the
It's
course.
excluded. So your actual batch is starting in February. I think it's February 6th. So it's starting, and from there you'll have 6 months actual classes. So this one is free. This one is more of the, usually as I said, you guys are very lucky that you're having these classes, because most of the time it would be just a few hours and very basic classes, and you would ask your questions. Here, TenTek and us, we put a really good job of creating for you the high level of, explanation, what to expect. And now you actually did a lot of studying right now already. So with this basic, you're going to start very strong. Probably maybe we still have, 2 more weeks, or how long is that? Yeah, 2 more weeks. You can have time. You can go to Google. You can start searching. You can start, digging. This is all helps for your success. And 6 months, this is what curriculum itself. And finding a job, it takes approximately 2 months up to 6 months if you work, full time to that too, because being on the market, it still takes time as well.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah, be prepared financially, time-wise. If you have anything, just it's, you have to put your best concentration and things on the studying for the 6 months. We're gonna see each other again at the end of your bootcamp. So we're gonna talk more about the jobs, DevOps interview, and things like that. If you guys have any questions right now, you can ask, or if there's nothing else, we can wrap.
I have
Yes.
question. What kind of certifications you need? We need, and what kind of certifications you pass already, and it was helpful at all, or we don't need any certifications in the future?
Yeah. Certifications are very good if you are going for some security positions, like maybe you need to know, like security issues, cybersecurity. Those things are like, you have to have it. If you're applying for those jobs, you need to have it, but for DevOps, you don't really need to. I know it may be sometimes plus if you're finding a job for consulting, because consulting company is what they work for other companies, right? They do service. So when they want to do advertisements, they're going to say, hey, our employees have certifications. So that's what it's going to be good plus. Even if you don't have it, the companies will encourage you to take it at work, and they pay for that. So it's not necessarily you have to obtain it. We noticed from the previous experience, and I'm sure that's what it is right now. I'm pretty on the same page with the founders, with our other instructors. Of course, we don't want to take a lot of time to study and try to obtain the certification, because at the end of the day, it doesn't add so much knowledge. People learn from hands-on more, but it's good to know different context, right? So I do have 3 certifications. Just like to study. I thought, at that time, it might help me on my resume. I think it's important, so that's why I studied. But if it's taking a lot of your time and you have to miss your regular class, I wouldn't suggest for you to take it. Only if for your general enhancement, general knowledge, it's good to have it. So it's up to you. Those certifications is usually in Terraform and AWS, the Google, so all the clouds have certifications. If you want specific ones, you can always ask your instructors. They know the name, what this can be good to study. If you have free time, it's always good to study or maybe try to pass it. but I wouldn't suggest you to miss your class because this is very difficult certifications, especially for us beginners. So it might take a lot of time. As a previous experience, we noticed people would even drop from the course to get certification. So this is not suggested because we want to concentrate on hands-on and on knowledge that we were giving in the class. Is that answers your questions? And feel free to go check my LinkedIn to see what kind of certifications do I have. My name is as it is here. And see, all of the information you might have as well too on certifications. Okay, any other questions? Serdar, you wanna?
Yeah, thank you, Yulia. I think it was really helpful and insightful. Thank
Yes.
you as always, keeping it interactive and engaging.
Yes, thank you for the question. Thank you, Serdar, and good luck
Thank
to
you.
you. Hope to see you, at the beginning and at the end and on the way of your journey. So feel free to reach out.
Yep, definitely. Sure. They say thank you, Yulia.